Hey guys, it's Sadie, and I recently went to Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disney, so I decided to make a video about it. Let's just go. So if you don't know anything about Galaxy's Edge, it is a section dedicated to Star Wars at Hollywood Studios and Disney World and in Disneyland, but I went to the one at Disney World, which is in Orlando, and it's a really cool experience. So I decided to make a video talking about like my experience. Was it worth it going there? The best things to do there, how to do those things, all that jazz. So first I'm going to start with the build your own lightsaber experience. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be naming like prices of stuff. Don't judge me in my financial decisions. I probably spent a little too much money. So I did the build your own lightsaber experience, and the whole package is $200, which I know is a lot, but you get a lot for your money and it's really cool. So you have to make reservations for this like way in advance, like I'm talking like weeks or months in advance. So when I went with my family, so when we decided we wanted to go to Galaxy's Edge, we knew we wanted to do the build your own lightsaber thing. So we looked online for the earliest reservation, which was on a Tuesday. That was the last slot at 8:10 p.m. like through April, so we were really lucky. Most people like we talked to there like were not able to get one. So once you get there at your reservation time, you have 4 themes to pick from, but here they are. I chose protection and defense because I thought that was really cool. And then you go in there and it's a whole show. They give you the parts for the theme you chose, and you still get to choose among those parts and build together the hilt of your lightsaber. Then you get to choose a kyber crystal. You can choose between red, green, blue, and violet. I chose violet just because I like purple, and it's cool because it's supposed to be like a rare one. I know Mace Windu is like the only one who got it, and the only reason Mace Windu had one is because Samuel Jackson wanted a purple lightsaber. But I want a purple lightsaber too, so I get it, Samuel. I get it. So you put it together, and it's like a whole show. It's cheesy, but like not bad cheesy. Like it wasn't like as bad as I thought it'd be. Like the show was actually really fun, and if you just let yourself get into it, I was sitting there like. So I'm going to show you mine. So first I'll show you my hilt. This is the protection and defense theme. I need to fix it because I didn't really put the part. All the parts come apart, by the way, but I need to get the parts right so these line up. You see, it's very cool. This is my favorite piece, like out of all the sets. It has cool encryptions, and they're like ancient. It's really cool. So I chose like this part, this part, this part, this part, and this part. Like you choose all of that, which is really cool to me. And so I guess now I'll switch it on. That's so cool. I'll never get over this. And they all make like different sounds. I don't know if that goes by like the crystal or like the parts you chose or just like chance, because my brother sounds different from mine. But yes, if you hit it, it does that, which is really cool. And it makes noises while you swipe it. It looks fuchsia on camera, which is actually really cool, but it is very much purple in real life. So that's the kyber crystal I chose for the show, and I chose purple because I just like the color purple. I think that's cool, and I thought it'd look good with my like theme. But I really wanted like a classic Jedi color too. So like a fool, I decided to buy another kyber crystal, which is the thing that goes in here to change the color. And I got a green one because I wanted a classic Jedi color, so like blue or green. And blue was similar to purple, so I wanted something different. So I got green, and I think I'm gonna show you like how that crystal goes in, and I'll show you this with the green.
As you can see, this is my lightsaber, and this is my kyber crystal. It comes in this container. I couldn't get all the plastic off. So here it is. It's really pretty. So you don't have to take your entire lightsaber apart to put it in, which is good. You just loosen these top 2 parts, and then the middle pops open. And you can see that my purple one is already in there, so you just pop that out. like so. And then I'm going to put the green one in, which is actually a little tricky, but if you mess with it a while, you get it. And it makes that cool sound when it goes in, which I think is a nice touch. So I'm just going to switch it on. And here it is with the green. And as you can hear, it makes different noises than it did when the purple one was in there. So I guess that is what was affecting the sound. But yeah, I'm really glad I got a green one because that's like a Jedi color. Like, look how excited I am. I love it.
So that's the Kyber Crystal. The Kyber Crystal costs about $15 extra. But for the lightsaber experience, just so you know, like what the $200 covers, it covers your lightsaber, obviously, the show. And then when you choose your theme, you get a pin that matches your theme. I don't know how well you can see that. This is the theme for the one I picked, obviously. It's called Protection and Defense. If you can see, it's kind of like a lightsaber. It looks really cool. This is the best pin, I think, out of all the themes. Like, I just picked my theme because I liked the theme. I didn't look at the pins. This is, like, definitely the best pin. And it's a very high quality pin. And then you get this lightsaber case that you can use to carry around the park all day. Yes, it gets annoying. It's probably the best way to transfer it because this part does not go in. Like, it stays out all the time, so you have to use this hilt to carry it. But if you want, you can smuggle it to the front of the park and they'll hold it there for you all day. Or re-entry is allowed, so if you want, you could just walk it back to your car and stick it in there, whatever you choose. I kind of want to hold it around all day, and I wanted to wait for nighttime to take some cool pictures because that's when the Kyber Crystal and the light looks the best. So here are these pictures. I think it was worth it. And then at nighttime, everyone was taking out their lightsabers and like playing with it, and it was just like really cool to be like. Okay, so the next thing I did that was really cool is I built my own droid, which is really cool. It's as cool as it sounds. So I guess I'll tell you about my experience, then I'll get to show you him or her. I haven't decided yet. Did yours have gender? So there's a whole section dedicated to Droid, like a whole shop building thing. You walk up there. You can get a reservation for that. We were not able to, but it was not necessary. You just have to wait in line, which was like 20 minutes, I think. So it's not as in-depth as the build your own lightsaber. It is $100. I spent money, but it's not like a whole show or anything. What you do is you go up and pay, and then you tell them if you're building a BB or an R2. I think. So BB is like BB-8 from the new movies, that like soccer ball thing. And it is cool because it actually rolls like it, and like the head's magnetic, so that's kind of cool. But then you can build an R2, which is more similar to like R2-D2 or like the classic droids from the original films, which is what I went with. And those have way more customization options because with the BB you just kind of choose a body and a head, and that's kind of it. So I went with an R2. So after you do that, they give you a little basket, and you go up to a conveyor belt, and you get to choose your parts. So like you need, and they tell you like what you need, like a head, body, arms, like a back leg, all that fun stuff. And if you want for extra, you could buy a personality chip, which I opted to do. It's $15 for the personality chip. I know, but I was really bummed out because I would recommend, if you want a personality chip, to look at all the personality chips online first so you can hear them and figure out which one you want. So there's 2 resistance ones, 2 smuggler ones, and 2 like first order ones, I believe. And I chose the one I wanted was one of the resistance ones, and it was a cute like classic sound. I loved that sound like so much. I wanted that personality chip so bad. But I went there and they did not have it. That was the orange one. And so my second choice was the purple one, which was fitting. But that was a smuggler one, and I like that one too, but it was not my favorite, or not my first choice. I was really bummed out about that, but I still got the smuggler chip. So you can choose, that changes the beeps and boops they make, and their personality, because they interact with the park. So mine was a smuggler, so anytime I was in like a smuggler section of the park, it would start like moving a lot and like making noise. So that's really cool. So you take all that, then you take it to a station where you put it all together, and someone will assist you. And you screw stuff in. It's really cool. I have videos that I'll show you of me doing it. Oh, and it comes with this box, so you can carry it around all day. It's a little sneak peek of him. You could pay $50 for a nicer bag, which is way easier to carry it, but like I'm not spending $50 for a bag that probably should come with it. And you could also have him brought to the front of the park. But I kind of didn't trust that, and I carried him around for a little bit because he does interact with the park, and that was fun. But eventually, we sent my dad to bring a bunch of stuff back to the car, so we brought him back to the car. So here he is. You see, I like the color purple. It's not my favorite color, but I just like the color purple. And like, make a purple droid, that sounds awesome. So that's the color of his head. White body. I chose black legs, and you put this part on too, and I chose black for that. The only thing I don't like about him is that since his head is like silver, it looks weird on the white body. And they had ones with a white head, but this is my favorite head, and this only came in like silver and purple. And I definitely wanted to do purple. That was like a priority for me. And here's the remote that obviously comes with it. So that's the sound chip that I put in him. If you don't get per sound chip, it just makes like R2-D2 sounds. But this makes it more customizable, like it's your own personal droid that you made. I do like this one because it's so cute and kind of unique, but I really want the orange one. But I'm going to show you how he moves, because he does move and function like an actual droid.
Okay, so as you can see, here he is. This is my remote. This button controls sounds. This button right here is if you get accessories, and I don't really know anything about those, but I didn't get them because I was already spending like way too much money, and from what they didn't seem that cool. This red button will move his head. And you might see some of my animals coming to the come on screen because they're really curious about him and they're kind of scared. Yeah, there's my brother's cat. Oh, hi. So he moves forward, backward, and then he can turn around this way or this way. You want to make him spin. That is something you can do.
Okay, so that's all of the extra things I spent a bunch of money on out of the way. Now let's talk about the things that you can do like with your admission. So first we're going to talk about the rides. So at Disney World Hollywood Studios there are 3 rides. The first that I'll talk about is Smuggler's Run. That one is pretty cool. So at Galaxy's Edge they have a huge life-size, like exact replica of the Millennium Falcon, and you can walk around, look at that from the outside. But right there they also have the ride Smuggler's Run. So you go in there, and the lines at Disney, or like at least at Galaxy's Edge, are actually pretty cool, and you don't feel like you're like waiting, because like it's a cool experience. So like you can go in there, and there's also games if you download the Disney Play app that you can be playing. Like you scan barcodes on the barrels, and like you report what's in them. And there's like all these games you can like hack stuff. I didn't really get that into it, but it was fun while I was in line. And then once you get higher up, you get to like view the top part of the Millennium Falcon from like the line. Like there's a huge glass window, which is really cool. And there's games you can play with that too, that like actually like you do stuff by looking at the Millennium Falcon. So then the concept of Smuggler's Run, which is the ride, is it's like a very interactive video game. So they'll send you one of 3 assignments when you get there, either a pilot, a gunner, or an engineer. And you act like you're in a ship and you have to like smuggle supplies, because I'll get into this, but the whole park is so immersive. So like you're if you're like the resistance, you have to kind of like hide and stuff. Like it's like a city taken over by the First Order, kind of. So you're smuggling supplies for the resistance, and you like fly and control the ship and stuff. And like if you move it, like it's like a simulation, like you move and it feels really real, like it's really realistic. It's not like those cheap simulators that just make you sick and dizzy. Like I think it was really cool. So the first time I got gunner, which sounds like it's really cool, but you don't actually like shoot with like a gun. You're just pressing buttons, and they're kind of broken too. And when the first time I went on it, like someone told me that if you go on with a bad pilot, it kind of ruins the ride, because that's the only role that really like controls the ride for everyone. And they gave the role of the pilot to a like 5-year-old kid, and he looked like a more grown-up version of the Ice Age baby, and he was just as obnoxious. So halfway through, he freaked out, started crying, and covered his face, and we were bumping into everything. If you have back issues, do not go on this ride with a 5-year-old pilot. We decided to go on later in the day once we had done everything, and me and my brother got the role of the pilot, which is way more fun than being gunner. And engineer is even lamer. You just press buttons, from what I've heard. Like it's even worse. But it was a really cool ride. And also when you're waiting for it, there's like a whole viewing deck that looks like it's the level of the Millennium Falcon. They have like exact like parts and scenes from the movies, which was really, really cool. Like it's all so freaking cool. Now definitely the best ride in the entire park, maybe one of the best rides I've ever been on, is the new ride, Rise of the Resistance. It's really new and really popular, so it's very, very hard to get onto that ride. So I'm going to first explain how I managed to get on that ride. So when you buy Disney tickets, you can get a Disney app, and you can pre-order like fast passes, like not ones that you pay for. Like this is just like they're for everyone on the app. But for Rise of Resistance, how it works is you can get a boarding group, but you can't try to get one until 8 o'clock, and you must be inside the park, like past the gate. And people will line up at like 5 in the morning to try and get on Rise of Resistance this way. But that is unnecessary. That's not what I did. This is what I did. So first of all, I would recommend, just for every reason, like don't go to Galaxy's Edge on like a Saturday or Friday. It'll be chaos. You won't be able to enjoy it as much. If you can, just take off a day of work or school or whatever and go during the week. I know Tuesdays and Mondays are like lull days. We went on a Tuesday. So keep in mind, to get the boarding group, you need to be inside the park, and you can't get it until it's 8 a.m., which is when the park opens. So, and what Disney does is, even before the park opens, they start letting people inside, like into like a waiting area. Like you can't go in the park, but you're past the gate, so it doesn't get like crazy and crowded. So as long as you get there around 7ish, you can be inside the gates with all the people that stood there at 5 in the morning to get inside the park. And you all have an equal chance because you're all inside the gates when the clock strikes 8. And when we got in the park, we got boarding group number 110. And how it works is groups 1 through 66 are the only people guaranteed to get on the ride. And after that, you're like a waiting group. And if they have enough time, or if like people don't show up, like they'll call your number. So we didn't know if we were gonna get on the ride. But then around like 6ish, it started getting really close to 110, like it was in the 90s. And they did end up calling our number, and I was so excited because I didn't think we were going to get it, and I really wanted to because I heard it's the best ride, and it is. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's like the next level of like rides. There's a whole pre-show, but I'm not even sure like what would be considered the pre-show and what would be considered the ride. Like like where the pre-show starts and where the pre-show ends. It's not like it's just a little show like okay and then walk on the ride. It's like it's so elaborate. It's really cool. I like can't even go into detail. There's holograms. Like you walk in there, you're walking like on the ship. There's stormtroopers. Like there's a whole story and like you're actually in the story and like all the characters are there. There's really good animatronics and like it's so good. Like I can't even like begin. Like if you can go on it, please like try. Like it's worth it. It's so worth it. And then we went on Star Tours, which is the third ride. And this ride I think was here before Galaxy's Edge. Well, actually, yeah, no, it was. So it's not in the Galaxy's Edge section. It was cool. I wouldn't find it necessary to go on it. We just had extra time, so we went on it. And it was cute and it was fun, but like it's kind of older. And like I guess since I went on lots of the other rides first, it wasn't as impressive to me because it's like the old simulations where they like weren't that good and like it looks kind of fuzzy. Like the rides at Galaxy's Edge are like not like that. Okay, so that's rides out of the way. Another cool thing you can do at Galaxy's Edge is you can go to the Cantina, which is the bar from Star Wars, which is really, really cool. So to get in that, I would definitely try to get a reservation. We were not able to. Like once again, plan this all out if you really want to do all these things and get reservations like way in advance. But we were not able to do that. So, and when we walked up originally, they said reservations only. But for lots of these things that say reservations only, you can keep trying and like they'll let you in. They give you a spot like with a table and a waiter. And once you get there, you don't want to move like at all to ensure that spot because that's like your spot for like the time slot. So you go there and you order your drink, and they're all really cool like mixed drinks that like look like out of this world, and like lots of them are themed to the show. So what I got, what was it called, like the carbon free. If you like don't like really sweet stuff, I wouldn't recommend this one, but I would recommend getting any drink that says fizz in it because it has dry ice in it. So here's a video of that, which I think is pretty cool. And mine also had like popping boba in it, or like they're called like popping jellies or something. And they're green apple, and they like weren't the cheap ones. Like they were really good. Like it was like if you bite into it, it was like so surreal. Like it would just like disappear in your whole face. I mean, your whole mouth would taste like green apple, which was really cool. I really liked my drink. And then once you pay, you can walk around. You're just not guaranteed to get your spot back. And when you get your drinks, you get them with a custom coaster. And I don't know if you're supposed to keep these, but if you weren't, I smuggled them because I'm paying a lot of money. I'm gonna get the most out of my experience. Like, screw you. So mine is an Ewok. Out of my family, I think I got the best one. And just another little thing you can do at Star Wars that I really liked is, I don't know if you know in the movies, there is like blue and green milk that like they drink, and there's like a whole thing about like, what's the blue milk? And you can actually drink that at the park. And it was just really, really sweet. My mom said it tasted kind of like a pixie stick, which I think is kind of good, but it doesn't taste exactly like that. Or it's like really sweet. So if you don't like really sweet things, you might not like it, but like there's the novelty of trying blue milk. So like, so this also isn't really in the main park. There's a section that was like the Star Wars section before they actually built Galaxy's Edge and Hollywood Studios after Disney, like right after Disney bought them, where you can meet characters from the movies, which I know like I usually don't do those kind of stuff because like it's kind of lame, but like it was really cool for Star Wars. You can meet Chewbacca, Darth Vader, and BB-8. BB-8, like BB-8, I met BB-8 because it was a 10-minute wait and I was like, what the heck. Here's my picture with him. It was cool because like he actually does beep and respond to what you say, because I'm sure someone's like holding a button or like someone's behind the camera. But it was cute. Hugging Chewbacca is like everything you think it would be. He's really sweet. He was like upset because I had Darth Vader on my shirt, which was really cute. And then Darth Vader is like fun because he's like, oh, you're not like a rebel spy, are you? And when he got on my dad's face because he was in front of the camera, like he's like, it's really fun. That's basically all the specific things you can do at the park. There's also like lots of stores. There's a cool like marketplace. overall about the park, another thing I'd like to note about the park is everything, like from the moment you like walk into the park, is very immersive, which I think is one of the best parts of it. Especially since when you walk in there, you like walk through a cave and you walk out, and then like you can't see any other parts of Disney from there. Like you're not seeing Toy Story Land in the distance. Like you literally, if you look out, all you see is Star Wars stuff, and the set is like not cheap. Like it's really cool looking, but it's very, very cool, and every single employee is in character. Okay guys, so that's it. I know I haven't done a video in a while, and like I don't know how interested many of you are going to be in this video, so I apologize. But I had a great time and I just wanted to talk about it mostly because I went yesterday. But I do highly recommend going to Galaxy's Edge if you have the opportunity. It was all like crazy. I had a lot of fun. Like I'm so glad I went. And I'm so glad I have my lightsaber and my droid that I'll have forever. So yeah. If you're new to my channel, I usually don't do videos like this. I do lots of like commentary, fun vloggy videos, but like lots of nerdy stuff like this as well. So if you're interested in that, maybe check out my other videos and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Don't leave, don't unsubscribe. Like, share, comment, all that jazz. Peace out.